morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, last week during Ask Yee, we had a lady call that was in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, she stayed anonymous.
Destroyed. Yeah, she stayed anonymous, and she was upset, and she wanted to take her own life. I've been talking to her for the last couple of days, and Yee actually put her in touch with our resident doctor.
Yes, that is Dr. Kendall Jasper. He's a clinical psychologist, and he's been on the show before, and it was something that we felt like was very necessary. A lot of people have their own issues with depression and with suicidal thoughts, so we wanted to do this to help everyone.
Right, so if you missed a call last week, let's get her back on so you can understand what she's going through.
My question is, has any of you dealt with depression, suicidal thoughts, and anxiety, and how did you get past it? I'm fresh out of an abusive, mentally and physical relationship. I'm not happy. The best thing in my life is my son, and there's some issues there. I don't have the support of my family. When I finally talked to my dad about it, who is a minister, he said it was my fault.
Wow, that's terrible.
Poor choices, and I should pray about it, and it's my fault. I should stop thinking about it.
It's 100% not your fault, number one. One of the main things with dealing with depression is being able to express yourself and just even sometimes just tell somebody how you feel. Do you have anybody else that you can talk to?
No, not really. I mean, I used to really close to my dad, but I don't know what happened. I wasn't expecting him to.
Where you from?
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
And I'm in Texas, so I don't really have a lot of family. And when I reached out to family, my dad, what happened just kind of, and it happened yesterday, it just kind of blew me away, because if I could just stop, then of course I would, you know. So nobody wants to feel like this.
You know what the problem is? The problem is a lot of times people really haven't gone through that, so they don't know how to talk to you, and they think it's light, but it's not light. Because I've been in that same predicament, and I was there. I was probably at my worst part of my life, and I felt the same way, and I didn't want to be here, and I felt like the world would be better and my family would be better without me in it. But you have to realize that that's not true, and you have to realize, like you said, you have a young child, and you have to live for that young child. And I know it's very difficult because you feel like you have nobody to talk to, and that's the hardest thing, because you feel kind of embarrassed. But you can't feel that way, and if you don't have anybody to talk to, I'm gonna put you on hold. I know this is Ask Yee, but I've been there, so I really know what it feels like to the point where and I will give you my number, and you can call me and you can talk to me anytime you need to. I don't care if it's 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 in the morning. I don't care, because being at that point and feeling like you have nobody to talk to. Thank God my wife was there and I was able to talk to her.
I just want to let you know that it is a sickness and it is a problem when sometimes people think that this is something you should be able to handle yourself. It's a disease. So don't think that there's anything wrong with you. This is something that you really do need to seek professional outside help. It's not something where you can just pick yourself up out of it. There's a lot of research that's been done, and it could have a lot to do with many different things. Like you said, you're just coming out of a relationship. You don't have anybody close to you to talk to. There's so many things that's going on here. I do, however, have a friend who is a therapist who would, I'm sure, love to speak with you and give you some professional advice, because I would hate to have anything happen to you and feel like, we couldn't be of some assistance. So if you hold on the line, I'm going to get you his information so that you guys can talk to each other and he can guide you in the right direction.
Okay, thank you.
But I don't want you to ever blame yourself for anything. This is completely not your fault. Life beats us up sometimes.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you my number too, all right? You hold on. Don't hang up.
Okay.
All right, when we come back, we're actually going to talk to the doctor. He's been talking to her. I've been talking to her as well. We'll get him on when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Dr. Kendall Jasper. Good morning, sir.
Yo, what's up?
Morning, bro.
What's up, brother?
Now, we had that anonymous caller who I referred to you, and she called in and she had some issues that she was going through last week. And I know you've been speaking to her, but there's a lot of people who have these issues where they're dealing with depression, with suicidal thoughts, and it's so urgent. I just really wanted to hear what your thoughts were and what's been going on with the young lady.
She's doing okay. We talked every day since Friday. I believe it was Friday. We've talked every day since Friday. I want to give Emmy a shout out because she's made it very clear to me that they've talked on a consistent basis as well. And that has been tremendous for her to feel supported and just feel like she's had people to just be able to talk to and just express herself to. So, kind of checking in with her. We're supposed to talk again today. She's following a plan. I put her on a plan, not really a safety plan, because it wasn't that apparent that she was, that she had a specific plan to want to harm herself. But we did talk about some changes that she immediately needed to make. For example, on Friday, I told her during lunch on Friday that I wanted her to engage in some type of a pleasurable activity, something that was going to make her feel good, something that was going to make her smile, and she certainly did that. Talking a little bit about her thought process and just welcoming some of the emotion as opposed to trying to fight it, because that's something that's very difficult to do, and it only lends itself to a little more frustration.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been able to do those things. On Saturday, she did need to talk to me extensively as she was driving and she pulled over on the side of the road. And we kind of worked through that, and that's to be expected. But that was more about her being angry at herself about some of the decisions that she's made.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her that was a natural progression, sort of stages of change. If we're not angry about some of the decisions that we're making, then we're not human to a certain degree. So, I kind of normalized some of that if I could for her, and it seems to be working pretty well for her.
Okay. Now, one of the main issues she had was she was saying that her dad was acting like it was her fault and he wasn't taking it seriously, that she was having these thoughts and she had no one to talk to. And a lot of people feel really alone. Now, you're a clinical psychologist, and I know you've had a lot of dealings with people that have had these feelings. What advice would you give to somebody who's feeling that way and has no one to talk to?
If they don't have anybody else, to make an attempt to seek some form of professional help. I was a stranger to her. You all were strangers to her. But she felt comfortable enough to call you all and myself as strangers, or you referred me to her, because she needed somebody to listen to her. It's important to have somebody to be able to listen to what you're saying, and also at the same time be able to challenge, if they could, some of what you're saying, for you to understand you're not alone, it's okay. I'll never tell someone you shouldn't think like that. The premise of just don't think about it, is kind of foolish. And I know that may sound controversial, but how do you not think about something?
So welcome those thoughts.
Yeah, you can welcome them as a process,
Mm-hmm.
but also understand on the end of it, even if I welcome those thoughts, I don't have to engage in any action. So that gives me some power. So I can have thoughts of wanting to harm myself, but I don't have to engage in an action to do so. And what that does is that empowers you to say, okay, I had those thoughts, and I didn't engage in that. So when those thoughts come back, I already know that I can just sit here and do nothing. I can do something else. She went to the park. That was her pleasurable activity. She went to the park and she people watched.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about her people watching, and we processed that. And it was funny because she said to me, "These people look like they have it all together." As I watched them in the park, and they look happy. And I said, "Well, do you really believe that?" And she was like, "Absolutely not." I said, "Okay, so what makes them any different from you?" They're going on with their lives. They're moving on. They look happy. They may be putting on a facade, but the point is that they're doing something. And she was like, you got a good point there.
All right. Now, Dr. Jasper, where can people find you if they want to get some help also? You've been up here on the Breakfast Club before, and we've spoken with you before, but how can people reach out to you if they want to get some help, or on social media, or just even email, whatever it is that you can give us?
It's just at DocNaDude, at DocNaDude, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I can be reached. Or people can email me, DocNaDude1, DocNaDude1, @gmail.com.
All right. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. And thanks for helping us out, too. Sometimes when people call Ask Yee, a lot of issues we can handle, but then certain things I think are just too above what it is that we can offer here. So that's why sometimes you do need expert help, like I was saying, and I'm really glad that you stepped in to help us out.
No doubt. And I just want to tell y'all thank you for the love, thank you for the shout, and I don't mind y'all sending people my way. I got into this profession because I love people and I love helping people, so don't be shy about sending folks my way.
All right. I know, and I appreciate you always respond right away. So that's so important to me. So shout out to you and to your brother Kanan also, who always links us up and makes sure everything happens the way it's supposed to. I just regret that I can't let everybody doesn't get through for Ask Yee that has major issues. So that's why I wanted to make sure you were here on this platform so people know how they could reach you directly just in case they can't get through on the lines.
No doubt.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Jasper.
Absolutely. Y'all enjoy the rest of your morning.
All right, that was Ask Ye, 800-585-1051. Now
That
we
was
got-
a really important one for us today, too, though. So I feel very blessed and grateful to be able to be here when we get situations like that. Ask Ye is brought to you by Cash App. Download the Cash App today. It's the only app that lets you do the most with your money and is ranked the #1 app in finance. When I don't have cash on hand, I just pay my friends and family through the Cash App. And guess what? When someone owes me money, I don't play. I send a money request through Cash App. It's that simple. Download Cash App today.